Setting a new record thanks to the magical release of Frozen 2, Disney is on pace to become the first major studio to cross the $10 billion threshold at the global box office, crashing its own record of $7.6 billion in 2016. Here now is Scott Martin from Kingsview Asset Management and a Fox Business contributor. Wow. What do you have to say to this one?
They're unstoppable, Melissa. I mean, the one thing I like about Disney, amongst a lot of things, which I would include, theme parks and some of the other things they've got going on, the toys. I mean, the stuff all the kids want and want to do are certainly up there as well with some of the numbers you mentioned. But the great thing about Disney is they keep the franchises going. We just recently saw the big numbers from Frozen 2, but don't forget about Toy Story. Don't forget about Cars. My personal favorites along with my kids, because they're breeding more and more viewers. They're breeding more and more kind of takers to their content, and that's where they're so good. And don't forget the Disney Plus sub numbers that we've seen recently, which have surpassed expectations so far in their streaming.
Yeah, no, Disney Plus is amazing. Go ahead.
We have another issue for Scott Martin to tackle. It's a controversy this time, Scott. It is Disney related. A Disney movie, Mulan, which is set to hit the theaters next spring. Some of the protesters in Hong Kong and their allies, I guess, are calling now for a boycott of the movie. The lead actress has been a vocal supporter of the police in Hong Kong. She said, I'm also on the side of the Hong Kong police. So it's interesting when you look at it from the point of view of China, in this case, as opposed to the point of view of America. Now you say something about the police, and that you're getting hit for saying that versus the opposite when someone says something here. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, I mean, China being certainly a big market that a lot of companies want to participate in, and then it just goes to show you, Connell, how touchy the Hong Kong subject is, and why I think, as we've seen in athletes, whether you want to take NBA general managers or presidents or take actors, it's probably best to just stay off of that topic if you don't want it to fringe upon something else. So going forward, I think it's a lesson to everybody that unless you're ready to take the heat for a statement, I would probably just stay out of that one when it comes to opinion.
You can get in it. You can get involved in these issues if you want, but I guess your point is you have to be willing to, put up with what people say, right?
True, and don't forget with the NBA case, too, there was huge backlash from China about the statement that the Rockets fellow mentioned, and the fact that ruined a couple games that the NBA had set up over there when it was like NBA week or whatever. Talk about timely comments there.
All right, Scott, we got to go. I will point out, just so you know, you got some dirt on your chin. Maybe you give it a clean it up.
Been growing it since birth. And I'm trying to get it going, so wish me luck.
All right, the great Scott Martin. Thank you, sir. All right, Melissa.